Cold in my basement.
Okay, you're set.
All right, let's get everybody warmed up then. Here we go. Little bit of running in place. Chugga, 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 chugga. Doo-doo. You can move around a little bit as you jog. Oh, fancy. We got a little do-si-do action this morning. Unplanned do-si-do. Okay. And just bouncing now. Shaking out the arms. Now letting them hang as he bounce. See where they go. Trying to think of all the animals who are joining us today. There's Newton and Etta, I know. Who else? Might be it.
Kathy Robin, what is the name? Daryl.
Daryl might be joining us. Shake your arms again, shake them high, shake them low. Really shake them vigorously. And back to a run, a little faster this time. Oh, I got a squeak. Floorboards are complaining. But not us, right? No complaints here. And back to a bounce. Shaking the arms out. Now one knee and then the other knee, just back and forth, as though you're doing like a Stairmaster or something like that. It's kind of
With
weird.
those little step things.
Yeah,
I guess that might be.
I think it's a Stairmaster,
Yeah.
but there's one that's just lower to
Right.
the floor. Back to a run. Pick your knees up a little bit this time. Good morning, wake up. Bouncing, letting the arms be really heavy now, let them go where they want to go. And now you can shake just by shimmying your knees, shake your shoulders. Good, now give us your biggest, best cat-like stretch. So just anywhere in your body that needs a stretch, you can give it a nice stretch. Find different areas of your body that might need a little bit of attention and give it to it. Anything that feels good. Natural stretching. All right, good. Back to your run. Hi, kitty. The kitties are out of food. We ran out of cat food, so they get
Last
tuna.
night. They just ran out last night.
They ran
So
out last
they're
night.
gonna survive.
So they've been getting cans of tuna, and it's really exciting. All right, a little faster. Push through the feet as you go. A little faster. And stop. Great, another stretch. Victory stretch. We did it. We woke up. We made it to class. Very good. All right, now you're gonna find a ledge of some kind. Could be your chair or
Chairs work fine.
a couch, just something to put your hands on. And then, let's see what would be the best angle to show you this. Then what you're gonna do, just get comfortable there, flat back, and then you're gonna bend one knee. And from there, the goal here is to get a nice butt stretch. And you may also get a stretch along your IT band. You may get a stretch into your lower back,
And sending your
and
hips
you do
sideways.
send your hip to the side a bit. And it should feel simultaneously a little painful and good, but not a lot painful. And it takes a little while for this, so we're just going to stay here for a minute. And don't think of it as a place you get to and stop. Move around a bit to find the different angles. There's a lot of different muscle attachments in that area, and they all really like to have a little stretch. Really bring your attention to the sensation of the stretch. Just like we were talking about in meditation yesterday, how a sensation is different from a perception. The sensation is your kinesthetic sense or your energetic body. And so even with your eyes open, you have this ability to tell when muscles are stretching. Good. Let's go back to your weight evenly on both feet. Stand straight up for a second. Wow. Notice the difference in your body from one side to the other. We better fix that. So let's go back down. And now you're going to bend the other knee. And remember that you're moving slightly to the side as you do this. Slightly to the side. And the possibilities are you could be feeling it in your lower back. You could be feeling it along your IT band, right up in the deep butt muscles as well. That's where I feel it the most, some in my IT band. But I think wherever you're feeling it, it's okay. Wherever you're feeling it, that's perhaps the muscle that needs a little stretch. Again, this is helping us move into a more meditative mindset. We get to go into the sensation of the stretch. Again, working different angles. You can try more straight on, where you don't put your hip to the side and see what that's like, or you can put your hip to the side even more, see what that's like. You may be feeling this a lot in your hamstrings as well. It's okay. If you have any confusion or it's just not clear to you what is a good pain and what is a bad pain, please talk to us about it.
And avoid pain.
And avoid it, right? Yeah, I mean, it should feel challenging, but definitely not any sharp pains. If it feels good, you know you're on the right track. You can push your hips back a bit as well. All right, now let's just go quickly back to the other side. Quick little stretch back to the other side, even things out again. And switch again. So bend your other knee, and we'll just go back and forth, evening things out. And stand on up. All right, let's get ourselves set up for meditation. Attend to your temperature if it's cold in your basement. Maybe there's a blanket nearby. find to wrap a blanket around you while you meditate. Whatever's good for you. While you're getting set up, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about where all this comes from. So my teacher is named Rupert Spira, S-P-I-R-A. So there's a keyword for you if you're curious about learning more. And another keyword, if I had to put it into one word, what this meditation style is, it comes from non-duality, okay? And that's a loose translation of a Hindu term called Advaita, which technically means not two. So my teacher's teacher is named Francis Lucille, and it goes back another generation in the West to Jean Klein. And then back before that is where it actually comes from, India. And the thing that I want to stress about this kind of meditation is it's in no way religious. It's in no way a belief doctrine. I think of it more as an art form, a kind of technique. And it's very helpful and can be very individual. I think each of those teachers along that lineage had a very different style. And so you get to practice this art form in one of these retreats. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about that today in case anybody was curious about it. The retreats last for my teacher last 5 days. Different teachers do different things, but typically 3 to 7 days is about what they do. There's a 1 hour and a half to 2 hour meditation in the morning. So just what we do here, except extended for 1 hour and a half to 2 hours, which allows for a lot more empty space. There can be less talking, but there is still quite a lot of presence of the teacher who's giving you suggestions as to where to look for things in your body. So then I just want to report some good news. If I had to share one thing from the retreat with you all, it would be that this doesn't require any extraordinary measures. So you don't have to be a saint. You don't have to meditate for 20 years. If you want to, that's fine. But you can go right to the heart of this art form and not have 20 years behind you of meditation experience. And what is the heart of this art form? It's happiness. We're not trying for enlightenment. We're not trying for any sort of superpowers. What we're trying for,
Levitation?
there is a kind of levitation, but no, we're not trying to levitate. Levity would be fine. Yeah, levity over levitation. I like that. That's good. So then every day when we do these meditations, it's like doing a stretch, like we did this morning. You do a little stretch. When you wake up the next morning, the effects of that stretch may have worn off. You may not be feeling as peaceful, happy, but then you go and do the stretch again, and you notice it's a little easier. And if you do one of these retreats, you get quite a long time to explore and mold yourself into a different, or it's not quite right. It's more about releasing the conditioning, and you release it, and then you come back into it into your daily life, and then you release it again. And each time you get to go a little further. So it's that kind of a process. It's very similar to learning an art form, martial art, musical instrument, etc. So anyway, I hadn't really laid that out for people, and I wanted to do that today with some of our time. But with that said, let's just go ahead and practice it. So why don't you get into your posture, whatever that is, on your chair, on the floor. It's best if you can keep yourself from falling asleep, because falling asleep is a different sort of art form. So close your eyes if you can, if your situation allows it. Drawing the attention inward. And the first thing is always to check whether you have a big agenda. I often start a meditation with, let everything be exactly as it is. If we have a very strong agenda, like I'm not going to think, or I'm going to get rid of this emotion, it's going to have the opposite effect. It's going to make you more likely to think or more likely to be bound up in emotion. So let everything be exactly as it is. We're going to carry on with the progression we started earlier in the week. So you can start with imagining your name in your mind's eye. Why don't you go ahead and write it out? Your name, your choice, cursive, print, whatever, typewriter. You can then wrap it in a thought bubble, send it up and away into the sky. For the next 15 minutes, you get to be without a name. Do the same thing with your age, the number of years. And so as we let go and send this bubble up and out, recognize that right now you get to be without a history. Who are you without a name? Who are you without a history right now? This now moment doesn't come with a history. And do the same thing for your vocation, your station in life, whether you are working or not working, however you describe yourself. If you met somebody on a bus or a plane and they asked you the question, what do you do? Whatever you'd say at that point, wrap that in a bubble, send it up and away. Now we also get to send away any thoughts we might have about ourselves, about our state of mind this morning, about things we're not good at or things we're very good at, about worries we may have about ourselves, about our image, our body image, or our image of our intelligence, or our image of how wealthy or not wealthy we are. Sending all that up and away into the sky. Now sending thought itself. Any thoughts you have, thoughts that aren't, there are plenty of thoughts that you have that aren't related to your ego, that are just simple commentaries. It's cold. It smells good. Whatever it is, the little commentaries that go along with your day-to-day life, even those more innocuous thoughts, we're just going to send those up and away. Included in this are any beliefs that you've held strong to for many years. I know that beliefs are important to people, and I don't want you to feel like you have to get rid of beliefs that are important to you. I just want you to relax from them for another 15, 12 minutes, whatever we have left. We're taking away the layers so that we can see what's here. This is an investigative art form. And we're interested in what is at root, what is at the very basic level of our experience. So then we go from here and we imagine, okay, there's something still here without thought. Let's go to that experience now. What is still here without thought? It could be cats snoring. It could be cats trying to get into the other room. It could be tummies gurgling. And because you have let go of thought, you don't even need to name what's happening. Just go to what's happening. Now we're going to take it even one step further. And I talked a little bit yesterday about the difference between a perception, which is something you get from the 5 senses that we all learned about in kindergarten. And anything that comes from those 5 senses is a perception. So imagine now that you've lost your hearing. It's only temporary. Somehow miraculously you can still hear me. And you don't have the faculty to see anymore. Imagine you're blind and deaf. What is left? You also cannot taste, smell, even touch. So we kind of have to imagine we're floating around in space. Very similar to what it must be like to be in the womb. Now, we can't perfectly run this experiment, of course, because we can't turn off all those things at will. But bring your attention to only sensation. Sensation is things that happen in your body. It's how we know we're stretching when we're doing our stretching. It's how we know where our limbs are in space and how we know our heart is beating. We're breathing. John Klein, who is my teacher's teacher's teacher called this the energy body. I like that. I like that it connects to, if anybody's ever done Qigong or Tai Chi, there's a lot of work at this level. It's a different sort of landscape here. It's subtle. The sensations aren't as crisp as a visual perception. They are more fluid, like water. And at this more subtle level of our experience, just staying here for a little while brings all the things that people want when they come to a meditation, peacefulness, release of stress. And it's best not to focus too much on that's the reason why we meditate, but those are side effects of this art form. Now I'm going to ask for you to go even further. And what is left if you get rid of even the energy body? Rather than get rid of, let's imagine that the energy body becomes less and less dense. There's more and more empty space between each of your sensations. You may notice certain parts of your body. There are sensations that are denser than others. In the chest, around any injury or sore spot, they can be very dense. Imagine that all the points of your sensations are moving apart from each other, just like all the galaxies are moving apart from one another. Just like all the points on a balloon are moving apart from one another. And bring your attention to the in-between spaces. So we're just touching on the furthest layer back now, and we'll go back there next week and explore a little further. We spent quite a lot of time on the energy body today. I think it's good. Let's go back to the energy body now. And then we will go back to the perceptions. So you get to turn back on your sight and your hearing, your sense of touch. Feel yourself grounded into the floor, into the chair, your hands on your knees or wherever they are, feel that. Feel your clothes on your body. Take a big breath and smell the air. Feel your tongue in your mouth. Crack your eyes open just a touch so you can get that visual sense back. Okay, now you get to bring back thoughts. It's a Saturday. It's sunny. We get to do some fun things today. Maybe even some chores. Yes. And bring back your name, your age. All right, let's take 3 breaths together. Here we go. Ready, and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Now go ahead and open your eyes. Grounding into the floor. Taking in the side of the room. Give yourself a little massage. Waking you back up. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. We'll keep going on a similar track next week. But I hope you have a great Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been great, and we'll see you Monday. Bye.
You gotta go get cat food.
We got to get cat food today. That's our chore.